Good morning. Today I'm sitting for my bagrut examination. I'm going to talk about my project. My project is about my trip to Richmond. I'm expected to talk about my project for 2 to 3 minutes without any questions. Then my tester will ask me some questions and I will be expected to answer them. I will come into the test with my project. Please don't forget it. This is how I would like you to present your project. Again, it's for about 2 to 3 minutes. My project is about my trip to Richmond. My project has 4 parts. Part 1 is the personal connection. Part 2 is the research. Part 3 is the poster. And part 4 are my conclusions and feedback. In part 1, my teacher asked me to look for an object or a picture that I had some personal connection to. I chose a picture of a group of athletes just after they returned from Richmond, Virginia. The picture was taken at Bagrut Airport. In the picture there are 13 athletes and the picture was taken in 2010. I was chosen to accompany those athletes to Richmond as part of the Emek Richmond partnership. I went for 2 weeks, I had a wonderful time, but I feel I'd like to know a little bit more about Richmond. So, in the second part of my project, the research, I chose to study Richmond. Richmond, I wanted to look at the history of Richmond, and I wanted to look at the tourist attractions in Richmond. The history of Richmond, I found quite a number of interesting places to go and visit. For example, I discovered that Richmond has a Holocaust museum. It was founded about 15 years ago, in 1997. Also, Richmond was the birthplace for many American presidents. The most famous was George Washington. Another part of the history that I discovered was the Civil War. The Civil War really was around Virginia, and Richmond had many soldiers which were fighting in the war, and many were killed. As for the tourist attractions, well, I think the best and the biggest has to be King's Dominion Park. King's Dominion Park has to be something like the biggest water park that you can imagine, and a terrific theme park too. I have some pictures of it in my research, but I'd like to show a little bit more about King's Dominion Park in my poster, which is part 3. In part 3, I have 5 pictures which I've chosen from King's Dominion Park. One of them is the group. We have all the groups sitting together at the entrance to King's Dominion Park. The second picture and the third picture were taken from a place called the Eiffel Tower, which, funnily enough, looks pretty much like the one in Paris. From at the top, you can see amazing views of all the park and most of Richmond itself. The 4th and 5th picture in my poster is a picture of Winnie the Pooh, who must be over 1.5 meters tall. One of our group members won Winnie the Pooh in a competition. He wanted to take him home, but no way could we have taken him on the plane. So he decided to donate Winnie the Pooh to a children's home. Part 4 of my project is the conclusion and, of course, my feedback. I really enjoyed doing my project. I learned a lot, but I guess the hardest part for me was the English. I did a lot of copying, and I didn't really understand what I was copying most of the time. Next time, I guess I'll have to find easier sites. Finally, I also learned that if I don't meet deadlines, I'm in trouble. It's very important to get my project in on time. If I had to do another topic, I think I wouldn't change it. I enjoyed learning about Richmond, and I hope you enjoyed my presentation. Thank you. Now you will be expected to answer some questions on the project. I hope you're ready for them. Hello again. Now I'm going to give you some tips. These are things to do and not to do, or what we call the do's and the don'ts. Let's start with the do's. In the morning, make sure that you dress smart. I'm not talking about shirt and tie for the boys or a dress for the girl, but I'm talking about the fact that come in a shirt that covers most of your upper body, if you know what I mean. Another thing, make sure that you come to the test at least 20 minutes before your scheduled time. Do not be late. Another thing, please make sure that you don't forget to bring your project. And you must bring ID. Let's talk about a few of the don'ts. One of the problems that we've noticed in the last few years, don't chew gum. If you chew gum, the teacher will ask you to remove it and put it in the bin. That will be a little bit unpleasant, so don't do it. Another problem that we've noticed is among our population of students that like to smoke. Please do not smoke before you go in to be tested. The smell is unpleasant and the tester will not get a very good first impression of you. If you have to have a cigarette, make sure you take something minty before you go into the test. You will be nervous. I'm nervous doing this broadcast. You'll be nervous as well. If you make a mistake, that's okay. Say, I'm sorry, I'm nervous. Can I say that again? If you don't understand the question, that's also okay. Ask for the tester to repeat the question. Don't forget, you'll be given a grade on only 10 minutes of work, which is not very much, and it's not always totally fair. But on the whole, you've got to try and make a good impression. So be yourself, relax, enjoy your conversation with your tester, and let's hope you get a good grade.